You're listening to the sounds of Diamond Perry, and thank you once again for joining Inspire and Lead, my new podcast, available on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. Look for this show to be promoted on any social media platform, YouTube, Facebook, that's IG, Diamond Perry, Diamonds are forever. Facebook is Diamond Perry, and Twitter is Diamond Perry _. I want to take a minute and talk about these online hackers, these online scammers, which actually affected my life. That's one of the reasons that I want to expose it a little bit and talk about it. Technology is so advanced nowadays, and there's so many things, that people can do behind their doors, online, on the internet, on a computer, on a phone. And it's great. Technology is great. We've come a long way, but it's also dangerous. It's also scary. The fact that you can use social media and a person can tap into social media and get your personal information. I'm not just talking about Facebook posts and different things like that. I am talking about these people are using messenger apps and being able to actually hack your phone. And this is something that has happened to me. And that is the reason that I can speak on it. It's real, and I think it's cold. I think it's heartless, for anyone to take anything that doesn't belong to them. When you get to taking from an individual, that gets deep. That hits home for me, because I'm a mother. I am a single parent, but at the same time, we all have responsibilities out here and we all have things to take care of. And the minute that plays through your mind to take something that does not belong to you from a person that you don't know what type of situation they're in. You may think that a person is on top of the world, and they may have a lot of nice things, but their money could be tied up in bills. And even if it's not, it's just not yours to take. And I just want to say to everyone, just really be careful, really be mindful of who you interact with online. Because this stuff is real. These hackers are real. There are people that devote a lot of time into stealing another person's identity, using for whatever they can, for their own advantages. And at the end of the day, like I said, a lot of this stuff is done through social media. It can be done through your email account, so just be careful who you're giving your email address to. The WhatsApp Messenger, that is one of the ways that they're using to track your phone now and hack your information. That was the way that the person who committed this against me used the WhatsApp Messenger, as well as Facebook Messenger can be used and has been used to hack and also, track phones or whatever. And when they're doing this phone tracking, they're also putting viruses on your phone. I had to purchase like 4 or 5 different phones. And it was repeatedly done. It was repeatedly tracked. And what people are not realizing that this is not only are you a thief, but this is invasion of another person's privacy. You have no privacy. You're ripping someone of their dignity, of their respect and of their privacy. And it's kind of like stripping a person of their clothing or raping a person. And that's definitely how I felt. It's an embarrassment, and you're ripped from your dignity. These people aren't going to stop because that's what they do. But I'll tell you what you can do. You can report these illegal issues and have something done about it. I know I did. Go ahead and press charges because people think that nothing can be done about stuff like that and they can't be called. And people are using burnout numbers and burnout phones and Google Voice numbers. Be careful of stuff like that. So that way, you can't track them back, but then they have another phone that they're tracking your phone on and that they're hacking you and they're tracking your location and everything. And then you turn around and look up and your card has money missing off of it. And 9 times out of 10, your bank can bounce those funds back to your account, but at the same time, you don't know what other information that they have. So be mindful of persons that you give your information to. And when I say that, I just mean your personal cell phone number and your email account. It's crazy because you can't even give your cell phone number out. Because if you give your cell phone number to someone, you don't know if they're tracking, that phone. And there's another way, to find out. You can go into your settings, but it's a lot because some of those apps, they hide that malware and everything. So you have to constantly keep your phone cleaned out. And other than business, I would say just don't give out your cell phone number. And it's really sad, that you have to go to those great lengths. But I absolutely don't use Facebook Messenger. I just recently stopped using Facebook Messenger. But yes, they use that to track your phone, to track your location. They can listen to your conversations and everything. And it'll tell them also the last location where you were at. So it's actually been done to me on more than one occasion. And one time by some persons that I've known for years that are really close to me. Why another person would want to sit up, outside of those scammers, because we know why they would want to track your phone to steal your information, which is sickening. But why another person, even without those intentions, would want to track your phone and take time. And I mean, I know it might sound neat, like, wow, you can really listen to someone else's conversations. But at the end of the day, don't you have something more to do with your time? There's just absolutely too much to do. I've been on go ever since I woke up this morning, and I've been up since 6 o'clock. And I didn't go to sleep until like 2 a.m. And I haven't stopped yet, and I still have so much to do today. I have so much to do. I absolutely would not be able to find the time to track someone's phone. Track your child's phone, track your cheating husband's phone, track your cheating wife's phone, track your cheating girlfriend's phone, but don't track another individual's phone. It's not your business, and it's also a federal offense. Not only that, you are ripping that person of their privacy, you're ripping them of their dignity. It makes no sense. And that affects a person tremendously. For you to get into their phone and look at their pictures. If you're video chatting with your boyfriend, they can watch that. They can sit there and watch you video chat. And you guys could be having a naked video chat, but they're watching that too. You guys could be having phone sex, but they're listening to that too. So it just doesn't make any sense. But at the end of the day, it can be reported, and it is a form of stalking. And there's another charge that can be tacked onto that because, as well, it's also fraud. So there's a lot of charges behind that. And for you hackers, if any of you are listening to this show, you need to have several seats. Sit down and find yourself something to do. And if you don't have anything to do, I will give you something to do. Because I have so many things to do. I'm like probably 6 years behind on my agenda. That's how many things that I have. I just have a lot to do. I have books that I'm finishing to write. I'll give you something to do. You can help me edit and help finish my book. That was a jokey joke, but at the end of the day, have a seat and stay out of other people's phones. Because these same people are probably not hacking their boyfriend's phone or not hacking their girlfriend's phone, and maybe you should track their phone and find out what they're doing, but you're so busy tracking someone else's phone who you have nothing to do with. You don't know what's going on in your own life or with your own spouse. But that's what you need to do. But better yet, just stop. Just stop. You don't have the right to track anyone's phone because that's their phone. People do it, but it's illegal. Unless you are the police, you don't have the right to. The police has the right to track your phone, and they won't get into a bit of trouble. But you absolutely do not have the right to track anyone's phone, not even if it's your spouse. But, I started out speaking about you hackers, and that's what it's about. But, whether you're stealing or whether you're hacking someone's card or their information, even if you are just tracking their phone, you absolutely do not have the right to track their phone. And if my phone is ever tracked again, every time I will make sure that you do jail time. Stay out of other people's phones. It makes no kind of sense, but, people like that, there's definitely something wrong with you, because there's just too much to do out here in the world than to sit and listen to someone else's conversations. I would think that it would take too much time to figure out which app works, because sometimes those apps don't work. Then you got to put them on your phone. Also, I meant to mention, they'll send you a text. The person that was tracking my phone would always text me and say, "Where are you at? What you doing? Where are you at?" And I knew they were tracking my phone, and I just played along with it for a while. I started to say, "Hey, you know where I am. Why are you asking me? You know my location, so stop texting me and saying, where am I at? You already know where I am." But once they send you that text, that tells them your last location. Once you've opened that text, even if you don't reply to that text. So that's how they're able to get the malware on your phone, by sending you that text. And then once they're into that email address, then you have to totally wipe your phone out and not connect that email address to your phone anymore. You can't do it, because then every time you open that email address, that gives them access to your phone. And when it happened to me, I actually had to disconnect my phone. I went through 5 phones in 1 year. It went on for 2 years, but I've made a report and their charges are being filed. There are charges that are currently being filed. So I will never give my cell phone number out again, but literally, even recently, the same phone that I disconnected, they were still tracking that phone, because as long as you use that phone online, then, they can do that. But I just say, happy haha to you. Just if that's what makes you happy, continue, to track that phone, continue to track individuals' phones, and you will go to prison for that. That is not something to play with, because something like that, that's kind of like opening someone's mailbox and tampering with their mail. If you put your hand on someone else's mailbox and open someone else's mailbox, you go to prison for a long time. And there's just a lot of other things out here to do in the world. Like, there's things to see, there's places to go. Me, I'm an explorer. I like to travel, and I like to write and listen to music. I'm really, really in tune with my music and my career, so I like doing, things like that, things that have to do with art. There's just so many more things to do than to hurt someone and, to tear the next person down. And those are just, some of the things that I speak about, the way that we tear each other down, the way that we try to hurt each other as individuals and as people. Come on now. I understand a lot of persons have self-esteem issues, and if you're doing things like that, you must really feel low about yourself, because the person that you're doing this to, you have to envy them. There's no way that you sit and track someone's phone and sit up and read their texts and allow their things to come back to your phone all day. What do you want? What is your purpose?